Hello, we're going to make a video today, and this video will demonstrate configuring a Windows 11 computer to print to a printer in Packard Lab 216. The fully qualified domain name for the printer is listed below. You may want to pause the video and write down the fully qualified domain name because this will be needed in the process of setting up the printer. The fully qualified domain name is Packard-RM227FDW.cc.lehigh.edu. Okay, the first thing we need to do in order to set the printer up is we need to get drivers. So we're going to open your favorite browser. And then we're going to go to www.hp.com. And we're going to go to support. And I'm going to accept the use of cookies. I'm going to go to support. And I'm going to come down here to software and drivers. Okay. And I'm going to close this box here. And I'm going to click on printer. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in HP M227FDW and see if that comes up with anything. Okay, so it comes up with a list of drivers that can be downloaded. And I'm going to go with the universal print driver. So I'll click the little plus sign here to see what the universal print driver options are. Excuse me. And then I'm going to go with the PCL6 64-bit driver. So I'm going to go ahead and click download. And you may get a choice of where to download. My downloads are going directly to the downloads directory. So now that I've done that, I can actually close the browser. I don't need that anymore. So I'm going to come down here and do a right click on the little flag. And I'm going to come up to File Explorer. And I'm going to go to the directory where my driver files downloaded to. And what this is going to be, and it's going to be in the downloads directory. Okay, and there's my file. And what this is this is a, let's click on View. And I'll click on Show. And I want to see file name extensions. At least just for this video. It's a .exe file. This is a file that's a packaged file, compressed. It's got a bunch of files in it when I run this program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come down and do a right click in the white space here, or I could do a right click on this word downloads. And what I want to do, show more options, new, and I want to create a new folder, because when I run this, when I run this program, it's going to create a whole bunch of files, and I don't want to put them all in my downloads directory here. So okay, I should have done this when I created the folder, but I'm going to name it, and I'm just going to call this print drivers. Actually, I'm going to call it HP print drivers. The name of the folder is not important. Then I'm going to drag this executable file down here into the directory HP print drivers. I'm going to double click HP print drivers, and then I'm going to double click this executable program. Now when it comes up, this is a zip file, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Browse and make sure that this is going to unload the files where I want them to go. And I have this in my Downloads directory, and then HP print drivers directory that I just created. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click Unzip, and you'll see a whole bunch of files appear in this directory. Okay. And it's going to try and run the HP installation program. I'm going to actually install it using Windows. So I'm going to click No here and close that out. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to go in the search box here and type in the word control. And as you do that, it's going to bring up the control panel. So I'm going to click on the control panel. Now when you first come into the control panel, you may see something that looks more like this, and that's fine. I'm used to working with the icons, so I click on the little drop down and I go in either large or small icons, does not matter. It's the same thing, except the icons are a different size. And then after I have the icons up, I'm going into devices and printers. And so here it says printers and scanners. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that. And I'm going to add a printer. So I'm going to click this Add Device. And I'm going to click Add Manually. And then I'm going to come down here and click the radio button that says Add a printer using an IP address or host name. So I'll click Next. And I'm using an IP address, so I'm going to click the drop down box and click on TCP IP device. Now if you remember from that first screen, the host name is Packard RM216 HPM227FDW.cc.lehigh.edu, and I'm going to click off this box here that says query the printer and automatically select the driver to use. We downloaded a driver from HP, so we're not going to, this would be possibly a Microsoft driver. So we're going to turn that off and then click Next. And if you get a box that looks like this, that's a good sign. That means it saw the printer and it is allowing you to proceed. So I'm going to click on Have Disk, and then I'll come over here and click Browse, and then I'm going to navigate to where my drivers are, and it's in my Downloads directory. I'll click on the directory I have my drivers in, and I'm just going to click on the first .inf file, and then I'll click Open. Okay, and then so I've got the manufacturer's files listed here, and then I'll click OK. And it's going to give me a choice here. I'm just going to choose the HP Universal Printing PCL6. So I'll just click that. Click Next. And this is a text name that will go in where where the printers are listed. So I'm going to call this Packard RM216 and an HP M227FDW. So that describes the location of the printer and the printer type. Okay, and I'll click Next. And then it will go ahead and do the installation. And this can take a second. It's communicating to the printer and setting the driver up. I'm actually running this on a KVM machine. So I'm going to click. I'm not going to share this printer with my machine's not going to share the printer. So then I'll click Next, and then we have the option to print a test page. I always do that to make sure it's working. And a test page was sent to the printer. And there we go. So, and then now you see the printer listed here. And so what we can do now is we're going to go ahead and click this little thing here to take a look at the characteristics of the printer. And so there we are. That's all there is to setting up the printer. And I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.